Hello again, I'm Doug Smith. Today is 3 August 2018. Welcome to Portsmouth This Week. Our special guest is Acting Director of the Department of Public Works and a friend, Brian Woodhead. Welcome back to the program.
Well,
it's been a couple of years, I guess.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Doug.
Yeah, it's been a while since we heard from the DPW, and I know the big thing has been paving of the roads and the paving budget and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, we were dedicating $1 million a year towards getting the roads fixed. Yeah, I know it's a lot got done, but where are we now, and what kind of budget are we looking for the coming year?
Well, when we started our paving program back in 2013, we had Beta Engineering go out and do a road survey of all our roads in town, and when they did the survey on all our roads, it was a 65 rating. That was the average of all our roads in town. And then we did and right now we have a road rating of a 73. So we've increased our road rating system.
So it's on a 100 scale of 100?
It's from 0 to 100, correct, okay. Yeah. So we increased it by 7 points. It's pretty huge in that short amount of time. And then after the 3 years that we had $1 million, we dropped it down to $700,000 because we had a project over on Prudence Island. We did Narragansett Ave. So that helped out because doing that $1 million and plus the Prudence Island project, it's kind of hard to coordinate all that paving into 1 year. So that was great that we dropped it down. And then the next year after that, we bumped it up to $750,000, and then last year was $800,000.
Okay, and what is budgeted for the coming year?
For this coming year, we have $600,000. We have they had a little bit of a budget issue. We were trying to keep underneath the 4% cap, so I understand the whole process of that. So we dropped it down to $600,000. It was worse in the beginning of the process, but we got it back up to $600,000. So we're going to be doing 8 roads this year for paving.
I saw them listed. In fact, I know an RFP has just gone out.
Yes.
Trying to get somebody to do the work here. How can people find out if their house or their street is going to be paved this year?
For this year, we're going to put it on the website, the streets that are going to be paved, after we get the approval from the council on the 27th. But we'll put it on the website, the roads are going to be paved. And then this is our 3rd year of every 3 years we go back out and we reevaluate the roads. So we're going to hire Beta again to come back and reevaluate the roads. Then we'll come up with a 3-year capital improvement plan again, and we'll figure out the dollar amounts that we're going to be able to put into that for the next 3 years. And then we'll post that on our website also.
Yeah, so people can just go on the town website and click on Public Works. And
it'll be under paving. Correct.
Yeah. Okay, great. I know I was talking to you the other day from Prudence Island. You were out there doing a project. What was that all about? That wasn't the same as the Narragansett Avenue thing.
No, Prudence Island, we have one project going over there right now. We were awarded a grant through DEM for a Mill Creek project, Mill Creek Culvert. What that is, it's on Narragansett Ave, and the culvert is undersized right now, and every time we get a huge, massive tidal surge, it floods out the road, so it kind of gets impassable. So we've got a grant through DEM that we're going to be raising the culvert and also increasing the culvert size, so that roadway is going to be raised up a little bit, so we don't get that getting cut off from the other side of the island out there.
All of this is kind of a losing battle if global warming keeps up and keeps sea levels rise, but you do what you can, I guess. Once the contract gets signed for somebody, when do we expect work to start? Almost immediately in the late summer? Well,
the contract, the bid opening is going to be on August 10th, and then we have to review all the bids, make sure all the paperwork is properly installed with all the contracts, and then we'll make the recommendation to the council on the 27th, August 27th, and then after the August 27th, and that's when we'll notify the contractor. It'll probably be a couple weeks after that, so I'm thinking September, late fall, that we're going to get these projects going.
Okay, so those will be started. On your list of streets to be repaved, is there a priority? So we know that the first one on top is the one they're going to start with, or how does that work?
We haven't bunched into neighborhoods. They're in groups. So there's only 2 groups. The first group, well, no matter what group they are, but there's one group is going to be Cherokee, Camara, and Swords Drive, Shoreline, and Miller Road. They're all in that one area.
Okay.
So they'll start there, or they might start at Glen Road. But there's only two areas that they'll be paving, because we got Glen Road, Frank Coelho, and Heidi Drive that we're going to be doing this year too. So those are the 8 roads in the 2 sections of towns.
Yeah.
So they try to mobilize at that one section to, each section they try to mobilize, and they keep jumping around. They want to finish it as soon as possible.
Yeah. What can people expect if they're living on one of those roads?
Well, if you're living on a road like Glen Road and Frank Coelho Drive, that's when they mill it out, because those roads are going to get milled out and then paved. The milling process it's kind of a moving process, because it's going pretty smoothly. It's not like the other roads. The other roads are going to get pulverized. So when they come in with a reclaimer, they're going to reclaim the road, make it into gravel, and then after they make it into gravel, then they'll shape it all up, and they're going to haul out 3.5 inches of material, and then they'll regrade the road, and then they probably have to deal with a little bit of dust for a week or so, but other than
Now,
dealing with
will
the
they
dust.
close the roads off entirely?
No, we'll leave the roads passable for everyone. So if you're in the neighborhood, we'll make accommodations for you to get out of there.
Yeah, it's always a trade-off on
Right.
convenience for people to get back in and out of their house.
Yeah, we don't want to hold them hostage in their houses.
Besides paving, I mean, we get very focused on paving because that's probably the most expensive of the things we do. What other maintenance is going on normally with the roads?
Well, just general maintenance of the roads. Before we even start paving, we go out, we inspect all our catch basins on all these roads too. So right now we have crews out there fixing all the catch basins. They started at Glen Road, so Glen Road is almost done. They're right at the corner of Glen Road and Frank Coelho Drive today. So they'll finish up Glen Road today. They're going to move over. There's 3 basins on Frank Coelho Drive, so they have to repair 3 on there. We have 1 on Heidi Drive. We have to install a new catch basin and some piping. And then we just move on to all the next neighborhood. But we have to fix all the catch basins, because we don't want to dig up the roads after they're paved.
Yeah. Catch basin, what exactly is that? Is that for water runoff?
Those are the grates that are in the sides of the road. That is for all the water runoff. So the water runs off the road, goes into the catch basin, it catches the material, and then brings it out down to an outfall. Then the outfall, either discharges it out into the bay, the river, or it goes into like a retaining area or a retaining pond area.
Yeah, it's all much more complicated than most people think.
There's a lot involved before everything gets done, but yeah, there's a lot to do before they even start paving.
Yeah. We should ask everybody to have some patience as they go through this process.
I hope, yes, right. That'd be great if everyone has patience.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
We haven't talked to you for a couple of years, and one of the projects that you guys completed was the transfer station building.
Yep.
How did that all work out?
That worked out really smoothly. It was on time and on budget. We demoed the building. That was a 2-day process. I think we closed the transfer station down for 3 days in a row. Then after that, we had a couple of our guys go there during the day, just because we didn't want to, because there was no building there. It was kind of a different look for everyone to see. So we had to put Jersey barriers on the back side of the transfer station. So we had our guys up there for a half a day helping people unload their vehicles. And that went pretty smooth. And then after that, the erection of the building, that went very smoothly too. It went on time, and it was on budget. We had the transfer station back open within a
I thought it was
month.
quite impressive, yeah. And is it all working out pretty well? I mean,
It's working out great.
nobody's run into it and bent it up again?
Well, there is a guardrail on the back, and they keep scraping the guardrail, but that's kind of normal. I think that's a little tricky, that hairpin turn in the back.
Tricky, yeah.
But the council approved a new compactor last year, so we have a new compactor downstairs. The other one was, when it was built originally, and it was on its last leg, so that one's up and running, and the other one was only 6 years old before, so.
Yeah. So we're in pretty good shape.
We're in good shape with the transfer station.
That's great. I know for the last year or so, maybe a little bit more, you guys have been sharing maintenance work with the school department.
Yep.
How has that worked out?
It works out great. Matt Murphy, he works for Airmark, and they've been contracted out through the school department to do all their schools. And Matt took over the responsibility 2 years ago to take care of the maintenance of the town hall, police, and fire department. Police and fire had their own budget, so with Matt needs, if they need some kind of upgrade in their building, he'll coordinate with the police and fire to find out if they have the money available, but I'm in charge of the town hall, that's in part of my budget, so whatever Matt and me, we work together very well. We talk to probably 3 times a week all the time, but Matt is, he always asks me, Brian, do we have money to do this, or whatever kind of upgrade they need to do, and we just make sure we have the money available, because Matt oversees it. Any problems with any of those buildings, they call Matt, and then Matt puts a work order together, and then, you know, make sure everything's okay with me, then we can go around and approve the work order.
Yeah, I've talked to Matt a couple of times, trying to get him on the program, and it just gets complicated because he doesn't work for the town per se. He works for a contractor.
Yeah.
He seemed like a real nice guy.
He's really nice. We coordinate a lot. I mean, especially in the wintertime too. He's always, he's calling me up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Hey, Brian, how are the roads? And I mean, he's always
So
very
proactive.
good.
He's on
He
top
is.
of it.
And he's right now is his busy time too, because they're trying to get all the schools together before
Yeah.
the school starts. So I don't see him that much right now. But we're working together too, because we have our capital improvement plan, and some of the capital improvement plan is some of the is on town hall, the painting and the rot repair at town hall. So Matt scheduled everything with the contractor and with me, so make sure that everything's working smoothly with that. So we're like constant
Yeah, I
coordination.
didn't realize that. So they have that whole area up there where the school department, the town hall is.
Right.
I didn't realize that, yeah. Well, it seems to be working. I know we're having issues before because you can only spread you guys so thin,
And it's been working out great because it takes a little bit less burden off me. Matt gets all the phone calls, less phone calls for me, it's great. But Matt gets the phone calls, and then he tries to schedule everything to work
Yeah,
out.
well, you're hardly in the office anyway, most of the time.
Yeah, we're very busy.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys are always busy. What about mosquitoes? Have we had a bad mosquito year? It doesn't seem to have been so bad.
No, we've had a pretty mild mosquito year. We go out, we treat our catch basins. We have like 2,750 catch basins in town, and DEM supplies us half of our larvicide for the catch basins, so we had to purchase the other half. But we go out and we treat them with a briquette. It's a 4-star briquette, and it's a 4-month release. So we treat the catch basins for the larvicide. Then we have an on-call contractor that takes care of it every month. She goes and she takes care of all the saltwater mosquitoes. She does like Carty Cove, Island Park, Common Fence Point.
Yeah.
She takes care of all that. They test all the wet areas, and then they treat the problem areas.
Yeah, so we kind of automatically treat them then every year anyway.
Every year. So we're in contract with them every year for that, just because we don't want to have a bad mosquito problem. And then, like 4 years ago, Al Getman from DEM, the mosquito abatement coordinator, he came down and he dug out all the mosquito ditches down in Carty Cove for us. So that helped out with the flushing of the saltwater tides coming in and out. So that was huge.
Yeah. See, like so many of these projects you guys are doing all the time, I think the general public has no idea how complicated it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of coordination with
There's
other
a lot of
departments.
coordination and also a lot of science that goes into these things to do it the right way. What about the new LED streetlight conversion program? Are you guys involved in that at all? Or?
We're a little bit involved in that. Mike, the assistant town planner, he's spearheading that one. Pretty good. I mean, there's still a lot of process involved in that. We still have to purchase our lights from National Grid. The council has to approve that. The council also has to approve, the next step. Are we going to go out to RFP, or if we're going to use the same contractor that gave us the inventory and stuff like that in the design? So there's still another process all involved in that.
Yeah.
And as soon as we buy the lights from National Grid, it's just not switched over to LEDs. I mean, there's a process that goes along with that also too. So
now, do you guys do that, or is that done by some?
that would be subcontracted out by somebody, because when they switch out the LEDs, they're going to have to change the heads of the LED lights, and they have to rewire them up to National Grids, and they have to put fuses and links and stuff like that in between. So there's a process, and it's not like 1 week later everyone's going to have LED lights. It's probably like a 6-month process by the time we give them a go-ahead, and by the time they switch out all 800 and something streetlights in the town. So there is a process.
Well, did you guys take part in the audit, or did you do the audit of what we have?
We helped out with the audit. National Grid gives us the list of all the LED lights, and then Prism came down and then they did their order, so we had to try to match Prism's order and National Grid's order to see who left out what, who didn't include what. Hey, there's a light here.
Yeah.
Is it our light or is it a homeowner's light? So we had to like do that kind of things.
Yeah.
with it.
It's probably a topic for another show here, but there are differences in regular lights and LED lights. I mean, in terms of the quality of the light.
Right.
Like the ones we have in here are sort of normal lights, I guess, and it's kind of a yellowish thing.
Yes.
And we're all used to that, and I'm not sure. LED lights, I've seen some of them, they're just, well, obviously these guys know what they're doing, but it's
Right.
it's going to be a different look, I think.
It is going to be a different look. And we just had a meeting with them too, because they had, at Town Hall, they had the two different lights,
Yeah.
the 4,000 and the 3,000 Kelvin lights. So what we're going to recommend to the council is, and hopefully, if I'm not speaking out of term with Mike, but I think they're going to recommend 4,000 Kelvin for the main drags, like East Main, West Main Road, and then the smaller 3,000 Kelvin for the neighborhoods and stuff like that, so it's a little bit less.
Yeah, I understand those things are also kind of dialable from, using the internet, essentially.
You'll be able to dim them. That's part of the RFP. That's a control that you can put on top of the lights. So it's like an added feature to the lights if the town chooses to do so. That will only work when everything's in place. So you have to wait till the end of the 6 months before you can dim it. It's not like, oh, we put a light on. Oh, can you dim it? You can't dim it right away. You have to wait for all of them.
The system's got to be set up.
You have to be all in before you can start dimming.
Well, I think the great thing is we end up saving money, and we're putting in stuff that's going to last for a long time.
Oh yeah, those last.
And they're energy efficient, et cetera, et cetera. It just seems like a win-win all around.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, well, that's great. Let's talk about your equipment and stuff. You guys, I know you got a couple new trucks or something this year, and I know that your equipment is very expensive. It's not like buying a normal dump truck or something.
Right.
Can you talk about that and what the new things are? And
Yeah, we have a fleet of 43 pieces of equipment in our fleet. That includes Portsmouth and Prudence Island. We have a capital improvement plan, and in our 5-year capital improvement plan, we're trying to change out the equipment as it gets on age. Not so much the age, but so much the wear and tear. Because a lot of our equipment, I mean, like it's in the salt and in the it doesn't last as long as everybody else's car because it goes through all sorts of rigorous abuse. But so we do have a 5-year capital improvement plan. We're trying to stick with our 5-year capital improvement plan. Every year, our head mechanic, Matt Sylvia, I go over everything with him to see, is everything up and running? What do you think that we need to replace for next year? Is it still on the same track as we did last year? Yes, no. And it's been working out.
so we do all our maintenance in-house.
We do all our maintenance in-house. Once in a while, we'll send something out, but that's very rare. But everything stays in-house with our head mechanic, Matt.
And what about these new trucks?
So we have a new pickup truck on order, and then we have also a tractor for Prudence Island. Their tractors are 1971 and they're open cabs. So we're trying to get them in a closed cab for Prudence Island. So that'll be coming in probably in a week or two. So Prudence Island will get a new vehicle. They'll be happy about that because they usually get our hand-me-downs, and they kind of don't. It's not fair for them to keep getting our hand-me-downs. So they're going to get a new tractor. And
Well, they're on an island.
they're on an island.
So are we, but they're really on an island.
And it's harder. We try to give them our hand-me-downs, but we try to make sure that they're
working.
They're working great because it is very costly to get those vehicles off the island if they break down. Especially, I don't think we've ever towed a vehicle off Prudence Island. We got it onto the ferry somehow, and we got it off over to this side.
So you feel like we're pretty well set equipment-wise going into the
We're in pretty good shape right now, yeah. And hopefully, next year our capital improvement will get funded again for our equipment, and then we'll be able to keep moving on. And like you said, I mean, our equipment, a dump truck's, $100,000. It's not like buying a pickup truck. But, so that's why we got a pickup truck this year, because we didn't have $100,000 to buy a new dump truck. Because one of our dump trucks is 1990, so it's past its useful life. So we're just trying to
just try to keep up with it by rolling over. I guess that's the only way to do it.
Because like 10 years ago, in that 1990, we put a new body on it just to get some more life out of it because the body was all rotted out. So we put a body on it, spending $15,000, $20,000 for a body, so we got some more years out of it. So we're slowly trying to do the best we can with what we have.
Well, keep it up. It's all about the money, and we don't have a lot of it here.
No, we try to do the best. And our Matt Sylvia, our mechanic, he's really great about keeping everything in house.
That's great.
He's a huge asset for the town.
Yeah. We're in the middle actually of hurricane season.
Yeah.
Nothing yet, knock wood, but
Yes.
Are you guys prepared, do you think, as well as you can be?
I think we're pretty well prepared for hurricane season. All our generators are up and going. Our generator at our shop too, because that gets services twice a year, and we're the fuel station for the town of Portsmouth. I mean, at DPW we supply the gas and diesel for police, fire, public works, school. So we got to make sure all that's up and running. All our small generators, all our pumps are up and running. Chainsaws are good. But we usually have to wait, if they're predicting it, then that's when we fuel.
Yeah, luckily we do have predictions.
Yeah, that's what's nice about hurricanes. Well, not nice, but that's one of the good things, because then that way we can fuel up our gas and diesel, make sure everything's topped off, and we make sure we go through everything again.
Yeah, I just got through reading a book on the hurricane of '38, and that was scary. The idea that a massive hurricane, could sneak up on you like that.
I know.
Thank God we've got much better weather reporting than we did in those days. Let me just ask you as the director going forward here, what are your biggest concerns? I mean, personnel, money, all of the above? I mean,
our department, it is personnel. I mean, we only have a 16-man department, and that's for Portsmouth and Prudence Island. I mean,
you're stretched.
We have 2 mechanics and we have 2 foremen, so that brings it down to 12. And then you have 2 on Prudence Island, so that it brings it down to 10 employees. So you have 10 employees taking care of 111 miles of road and trying to get everything done, and they keep adding more and more stuff to our workload. It gets very taxing. I don't even know how we're doing it now, but we're doing it. I'm very surprised that we're doing it, but the guys have been great about it, because we do take care of all the right-of-ways. We mow the grass. I mean, there's a lot that Public Works does.
Well, you guys do a lot. In fact, I got to thank all your guys again. I did it last time, I think, too, but it's true. You guys are I appreciate you keeping up the Bristol Ferry Town Common area.
Oh, thanks.
Because you guys help make it look great, and it's just deeply appreciated, I think. All the town areas like that.
Yeah, because we have a lot of those. We have, Bristol Town Commons.
No, I know.
We have Founder's Brook. We have the Heritage Overlook. I mean, we have the bowl ramp that we take care of. I mean, there's a lot of facilities that we take care of.
Speaking of which, we got this potential Mount Hope Park area down there. Is there any movement on that, or have you guys had to do anything down there?
The only thing we would do down Mount Hope, we mow the grass once in a while to try to keep it down. But there is, we're working with Chuck from the Quinnipiac Island Land Trust, because we're in partners with him right now. And they're trying to seek some grant funding to see if they can
I know that. Yeah.
Trying to get some of the safety concerns, especially with the retaining wall on the back side repaired.
Yeah, I've talked to Gary Crosby several times about this, and I think the plan is, at first we make it safe like it is.
Yes.
And that's going to take $300 or $400 somewhere.
Yeah, that's going to be huge, because other than fencing it all off, that end section, and then just keeping the front section, I mean, you're going to have to, there's going to be a lot of
I don't know if that would work. People would get over that fence or around it or something.
They're getting around it now.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're getting around it.
Oh, you mean the one that's out there by the common?
Yeah.
Well, they've always gotten around that.
I know.
In fact, that's the way Dave Kehoe got dinged up by trying to climb on the rocks.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, like I say, everything you guys can do about those things is appreciated by the town. Do you have any, if somehow we were able to generate more money for people, what would you do? Just put an extra person on your rolls and try to go out and advertise the job? Is that how it works?
That's how it works. If they approve another position, then that's how it works. It goes out to advertisement, then it goes. Then they have to take a test, and then after they take the test, Then it goes through interview process, and then, yeah, it would be great if we could get more employees.
Yeah, I think that's, you know, it's, again, that's a problem in the
Everyone's
town.
having, yeah.
Everybody's got the problem. And I think the main thing, and again, I applaud you for this too, is keeping a good relationship with the town management and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And keep moving forward. I mean, you guys have been very helpful.
Oh, I appreciate
Anytime
it.
anybody contacts you guys, just about.
Well, I appreciate that. We try to make all our contacts with the public, you know, to the best. You know, we want to make them have a good experience. I mean, there's some things that we can do, some things we can't do. I mean, but, you know,
Yeah.
they...
Okay, now, if suddenly Bill Gates or somebody came in and said, okay, here's a $500,000. I mean, in other words, you got some money. What would you do first? I mean, where would you? I don't mean to put you on the spot. This is not an easy question.
It's not an easy question. I don't know. $500,000. I mean, that's a good amount. I mean, I would definitely invest into the roads and put it back into the infrastructure. I mean, that's
Yeah.
our hugest asset in the town is our infrastructure. So I would definitely want to put that back into the infrastructure.
Yeah. Speaking of that, how do you think DOT's been doing on these main roads and things? They put a lot of sidewalks in, I have to say that.
They did, and 24 is almost completed. I mean, they're going pretty quick on 24. So yeah, they're going pretty quick. I'm hoping that East Main Road gets paved this year. That'd be a huge asset.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I know.
And it seems to me that's part of your problem is you got somebody else responsible for the biggest roads in town, and yet you guys have to work around that.
We do work around it. I mean, we work very closely with Portsmouth DOT, and they've been great. Easy to get along with those guys down there. They're great. If we ask them for something, they're more than happy to help us. And sometimes they call us and ask us too. You know, if their broom's broken down, they're like, "Hey, can you guys sweep this intersection for us? Our broom's broke down." Yeah, we're more than happy to go out there and help them out. But we have a good working relationship with DOT down
Now,
here too.
if needed, could you guys use that facility to park something or something during storms, maybe?
The one over here,
Yeah.
I'm sure they will let us. We've never asked them, but I'm
Yeah,
sure
we never had the occasion to use it.
Yeah, but I'm sure they would let us park anything we wanted down there. I mean, they've been great to work with.
Yeah, we did went down there and interviewed the guys a couple months ago, and they seem really nice people to begin with, and they seem willing certainly to share the stuff with the town.
Yeah, they're great to work with.
Yeah, it's great to see people from the state, you know, that the state runs, being down here and being sucked into our problems and things down here. But I guess they do as good a job as you can expect.
And they're short-staffed too. I mean, they have a small department.
Yeah, and that's why I've been amazed at what the new director has been able to get done in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You know, because he sets a plan and he does it. And some people complain about the signs, but the fact is that they're doing this stuff. So.
Yeah, because the Portsmouth facility takes care of Tiverton, Little Compton, Portsmouth, Middletown, Newport, Bristol, and Warren. I mean,
that's a big area.
For a small department down there. I don't think they have more than 18 people.
Yeah.
That's a small
Brian, we're
department.
just about out of time, and I'd just like to thank you for coming in. Always good to talk to you anyway.
It's nice talking to you too, Doug. I appreciate you having me.
Not at all. Just a note for local interest, the Portsmouth Senior Center is having their annual yard sale on Saturday, August 11th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And if you've never been down there, it's worth going to see. People come down and set up tables and things, trying to sell their yard sale stuff. It's a good place to meet a lot of Portsmouth residents. And just come on down and enjoy it. It's free. You can park free. It's just something that's very worthwhile to try out. That's it for me, Doug Smith. I'll see you next time on Portsmouth This Week.